don't know what.
Yeah.
Because where I lived, heroin was actually pretty big then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was, and I ended up trying it, and I was like, listen, and that girl then, I hung out with her a lot, like after that, because I was like, okay, she can get it. You know what I mean? It was like...
Did you sniff it or did you...
I sniffed it.
Okay. And how... You remember you liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did it become... How often did it become after that?
Like, after that, it was... I feel like at first it was like... I would do it when I could. Because now you gotta think, I'm only like 14, 15. I don't have money like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I would go to school, and during lunch, I would ask everybody I would just walk around to tables and be like, do you have $1? Do you have $1? Do you have $1?
Yeah.
And I would try to get enough money so when I would leave school, I could get a bag of dope.
Yeah. And it's nothing big going around being like,
no, yeah, like, let me get $1, let me get $1, but then people would be like, well, damn, every day you're asking me for $1. So I couldn't, then it kind of like, I didn't do it. I did it like every couple days, every day. Like sometimes it would be every day. It was very sporadic at first. I wasn't going to school as much. So then anyhow, with the drugs, I was like 15, I think, and that's the first time they would make trips to the city to buy large amounts of drugs and bring it back, obviously to sell. And that was the first time I took a trip. And so I was young, I was like 15. And I just remember being like, well, I liked the whole thing about it. I liked just going, I don't know why, but I just did. So that was the first time I actually shot up, though, was the first time I went there.
Do you remember? I remember the first time that I did that, and I was like so disgusted in myself afterwards. I was like, what am I doing?
What, the first time you shot up?
Yeah, hell yeah. The first time, and I didn't even do it. Somebody did it for me.
Yeah, somebody did it for me too.
I remember I was so disgusted. Like, I was like, what am I doing?
So they were like telling me, they're like, you're wasting it. Like, that's what she was telling me. She's like, you're wasting it. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're wasting it by sniffing it. She's like, you should just shoot it. And I was like, oh, I don't know about that. Like, I was hesitant. I was hesitant. And then I was like, she's like, well, I have a brand new needle. And I was like, okay, if it's brand new. I think I was more worried about sharing a needle. I wasn't, because I was like, damn, if I have to use her needle, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I sort of agree. Go ahead.
So, but she had a brand new one. And that was the first time that I did that, and that was like, it was off to the races. The first time I shot up, I was 15. It was, I want to say, maybe like 3 months prior to my 16th birthday. So I turned 16 in May. So that whole 3 months, I was pretty much not going to school, and I was just getting high every day. I would leave school. The whole summer, I was getting high. And then at 16, it was actually in September. It was September 11th, 2001. It was actually 9/11. I found out I was pregnant. So
Now, how did that make you feel?
I was a mess. And I was scared because I was young. I was scared because I knew what I was doing. I knew at first, like, I was getting high. So
You weren't in a position.
Yeah, I was just like, what am I doing? But I will tell you, I actually stopped. I literally, like, the next day, I stopped. I just stopped getting high. I got sick, and that was the first time that I really experienced being dope sick. Like, I think I experienced it before, but I didn't realize that's what it was. I didn't realize because
you were going through withdrawal.
Right. So that was like the first time I really experienced withdrawal. And then I was thinking, is this from the pregnancy? Like, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So I was really scared. I couldn't tell my mom for a while. Like,
so what was the reaction of your boyfriend at the time? Did you tell him right away?
Yeah, he was there. He was there when I took a test.
Okay.
But I will tell you that relationship was so toxic. It was very toxic. So at that young of an age, I was with him, and we partied a lot. We drank a lot. We did a lot of drugs.
And do you feel like that's just sort of what all the kids, the age group and the friends you had at the time was?
No, not really. No, like, it was more or less, I feel like I had different groups of friends. There were friends that were like my real true friends. Then I had friends that I would just party with, and I had friends that I would just get high with.
Yeah.
But he was somebody that I feel like it was just like, we were like a team getting high.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out well in that sense.
Yeah.
Because I told you, like, he was clean. Well, obviously he relapsed. So that relationship, though, was, like I said, very toxic. Even pretty much in the very beginning.
How so?
Well, when I got with him, I had shortly found out, like, that he was talking to another girl. So that was like, wait, hold up, like.
Was it a surprise, or was it?
It was, because, like, mind you, I was young. Like, that had never happened to me before. Like, I had literally, like, maybe 2 other boyfriends before that, but, you know, they weren't, like, serious boyfriends.
Yeah, and that was your first serious boyfriend.
Right. So, you know, to feel that way, I was like, what the fuck? Like, and at first I was like, I'm not putting up with this shit. Like, I don't need it. But it was like, he charmed me kind of to, like, get back with him. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh, like, he's picking me over her. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yes. And
yeah,
not a good way to look at it, you know, because literally I was not a priority. I was more or less an option. Like, I was his option. Like, and you should never be like that.
Yeah.
So that, in the very beginning, also there was a lot of control issues. He was very controlling, very jealous. I mean, the jealousy did go both ways, but he was very controlling, and I almost took that as like, oh, well, that's because he just likes me so much. Like, I like confused that with love.
Yeah, it's like sort of one of those double-edged swords where you sort of liked it, but then you were like,
right,
all right, maybe this is a little bit.
Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, well, look, he just really likes me, you know, that much.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, then it was that summer. I remember he had called me. I don't know what time it was. It was literally like, I don't know, 2:00 in the morning. And he asked me, he's like, did you get high without me? Like, he thought I got high without him, which I did. And he ended up stealing his grandfather's car, and he came down to my mom, like my house where I lived, because he wanted to count my money. Like, he wanted to, like, he had known how much money I had, so he like wanted to see if I still had that same amount of money. And he was like, get in the car. And now, mind you, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, damn, okay. So I got in the car and he just drove off. Mm-hmm. And I had tried to jump out a couple times. And one time I did jump out, but he had chased me and drugged me back into the car.
Were you guys like
fighting?
Yeah, but was it like, where you said you jumped out of the car?
So there's like a stop sign.
Okay.
So he
it was
like,
in town, though?
Yeah, it was in town. So like he kind of
like,
had to slow down because he was like, you were yielding.
Yeah.
So he had to slow down. So when he didn't stop, but as soon as he slowed down, I like tried to jump out. Mm-hmm. So he got me back in the car, and I was like begging him to please stop, because that's the first time that he was like really hitting me, mm-hmm. like hard. And I was scared. So, cause I was like, damn. So my mom kept calling me. I had a cell phone, and my mom kept calling me, and he took my cell phone and just threw it out the window. And I was like, I remember thinking, oh my God. Like, I don't know why at that time, which now it doesn't seem like a big deal, but at that time it was like, I felt like more upset that he did that than he was hitting me.
Yeah.
So, cause I'm like, my mom's really gonna be mad. Like now she's really gonna be mad because like you just threw the cell phone out. So after him driving around, now we were like out in the middle of nowhere. He had drove me literally out to the middle of nowhere and basically threw me out of the car while we were driving. Mm-hmm. And I was like pretty beat up. So I didn't know what to do. I really didn't even know where I was. So I just started walking, and I was walking for a couple hours. I remember the sun was up, and I had tried to wave, like 2 cars past me, and I tried to wave them down, and they just kept driving. And I remember then I was walking and walking, and then I hear a car like slowly, like, cause it was like a dirt road, so you could hear, and they were like stopping, and I turned, and it was